Hi, Peter again from the RS Print support team. In this video, I want to talk you through the analysis of your dynamic assessment. There are a number of tools that can be used for the analysis, but we will mainly focus on the 2D, the zones, and the risk analysis. Let's start with the 2D screen. Here, you can play the roll-off, pause it, go back and forth, and when you stop it, you see the entire roll-off. The colors indicate the amount of pressure, red being the highest and blue the lowest. You can also find the center of pressure line. It's the white line that goes along the vertical axis. Usually, you will find some pronation through the heel, supination in the mid stance, and then pronation again for the propulsion. And the third thing you can look at is the amount of midfoot contact. So when you look at the midfoot area, you get an idea of the amount of contact or the height of the arch in a dynamic setting. Let's continue with the zones. Here you can find the selected feet divided in 10 anatomical zones. Every zone has a graph on the right. By default, the software will show you the selected feet lines, but it's more important to look at the average feet, and that's the power of this tool. It's the only place in the software where you can evaluate the average roll-off calculated by the software algorithm. The different zones are the medial heel and the lateral heel, the midfoot area, all 5 MPJs, the big toe, and the lesser toes. In the graphs, you can analyze the initial heel contact by looking at the pink line and blue line. They indicate the load on the medial and lateral heel. In this case, you can find some pronation because the medial heel has a higher load. When you look at the midfoot area, which is the green line, you can compare it to the heel and the forefoot. In this particular case, it's fairly low, which indicates something about the arch height during the roll-off. In the forefoot, you can find all 5 MPJs. Ideally, you would like to see a steady buildup from the lateral side to the medial side, with the highest load on the first MPJ. I will quickly show you another example of a case that has high load on the lateral forefoot. So it's a heavy supinator. And here you can see that the highest load is on the 4th and 3rd, with the first ray being here. Same goes for the right side, with the 5th and 4th, 3rd, 1st, and 2nd. Let's go to the third and final tool of the analysis. In the risk analysis, we can find the overall balance during roll-off. The foot is divided in 6 different zones based on the 3 main phases: heel strike, mid-stance, and propulsion. We then compare the medial to the lateral side to look for a major difference in load. A bigger difference can trigger a risk of getting injured. Low risk starts at 90%, medium risk at 100, and the high risk at 110. These numbers are just an output from the algorithm. It's not the risk ratio. The risk analysis is linked to the zones and the other tools. For example, in this case, we can see the low risk on the medial heel. That's triggered because the load on the medial heel is higher compared to the lateral. And it's not triggered on the right because the difference is slightly smaller here. Let's go back to the other case. This person has a high load on the lateral forefoot. You can see the 4th and 3rd, 5th, 4th, and 3rd being the highest. Let's see what the risk analysis looks like. It shows a high and a medium risk for the lateral forefoot because the load is much higher compared to the medial side. That's it for the analysis part. I will see you in the next video where I'll discuss the design wizard. Thanks for watching.